Bonjour les amis, bienvenidos una vez más a nuestro canal de YouTube. Ya sabéis que nos encanta hacer entrevistas a los creadores de las marcas con las que trabajamos y hoy tenemos el inmenso placer de recibir a Elena Spirina, creadora de la marca Anomalia Paris. Hace un tiempo que la tenemos en la tienda, pero bueno, no habíamos conseguido que Elena pudiera venir con nosotros hasta hoy y vamos a empezar la entrevista ya definitivamente. Elena, welcome and thank you for being here with us. It's a long time that we have already introduced the brand Anomalia here in Le Secret du Marais, but well, finally we have found a date for you coming here that is important after a few months. So thank you. I'm going to ask you some questions about the brand, about you, about your experience in perfumery. But the beginning of everything for us is always, how did you start to create Anomalia and why did you decide to create Anomalia Paris?
Well, first of all, thank you very much for having me here, for having my beautiful baby in your beautiful store. I'm very happy to be today next to my small babies. So actually your question is pretty cool because you didn't ask me why the name is Anomalia. For a long time I would say too much passionate about perfumes. I have a huge collection of different perfumes at my home. I'm collecting them for more than 20 years. I have vintage fragrances and contemporary. So more or less my life was always connected to the arts. You know, I used to do marketing, events, fashion, and it was always about something beautiful, artistic, and all that stuff. So suddenly, I can't say that it was suddenly, but I was always crazy about perfumes. But let's say suddenly I've decided that it's a time when I can share my passion to fragrances and specifically not only be concentrated on just one specific fragrance, because I am that person that loves to do mix and match, that loves to do layering. I know that layering now is not that terrible as it considered to be, you know, before. So it's fine already for people to mix and match fragrances, but for me it's like a lifestyle. And that was also the idea of creation Anomalia, because for me, I will answer your second question, why Anomalia?
Of course.
So Anomalia for me means life which is never in static, which is always in movement. It's never locked in a cage. Actually with Anomalia we celebrate the luxury of freedom, of being whoever you want to be. If we will think few years or decades back, many of us would be considered as Anomalia. It's not normal.
No.
And today we're still here, and vice versa. The second key point I would say is that Anomalia illustrates something that always deviates from the norm, which is an epitome of luxury. That's what I wanted to, you know, to celebrate and to manifest to our clients and friends. So this is Anomalia. This is a celebration of freedom. This is a celebration of French craftsmanship. This is a celebration of beauty, talent, and of course sustainability. That's why all our products are not only, you know, refillable, recyclable. They are like art objects. They are made to have a second life.
It's true that for me the bottle is, well, incredible, beautiful. When you take the cap, it's
heavy.
Yes, heavy. It's not in plastic. Os puedo prometer que no es de plástico, que pesa un montón. The bottle with this shape, is handmade, with all these details, with the logo, with the label, with the relief. Well, I love it. It's really a nice object. Of course, what is inside is better. But the bottle.
But it's important, you know, not only to have inside but also outside picture.
Exactly. So all the details are very well done. It's a good quality. You feel it when you touch it, and I agree with you. That's normal. And coming back to the name Anomalia, of course, Anomalia. That is curious because it's the same thing in Spanish. We say Anomalia when someone has a different thing.
But you have the same pronunciation, right?
Anomalia. It's the same. So it's very easy for Spanish. So other thing that is in your name is Anomalia Paris. So put the accent on this French touch on the brand. Why did you decide to put Paris?
First of all, because it was born, Anomalia was born in Paris, and we are that much inspired by Paris, of course. If you will have a look at our logo, for instance, this is Arc de Triomphe.
See, that's
actually,
we can show it here.
So yes, it's a celebration of my love to beautiful France, which actually inspired me to create this. I wouldn't be that modest, and I would say this fantastic maison. So yeah, that's why Anomalia Paris actually, because our main office is located there, and actually the design is made there, and all the strategy is made there, and then, by the way, everything is produced in France. Of course, not in Paris, in the north of France, because in the north of France we have like a Silicon Valley for perfumery, as you know. And thank you for putting attention on our beautiful flagon, because it was made at Poche de Courval, one of the most, famous and ancient glass factories in the world, with more than 400 years of history. So yeah, that's why actually Paris, because we are Parisian.
Okay, and well, as we can see, we have many different fragrances. I think that maybe all of these anomalias that we can have, each person is different, of course. Each person can found his own fragrance in your brand. No? But some details that you want to put in advance of these fragrances for each people.
Yeah, generally speaking, we have full direction of fragrances in our collection. Why I did this? First of all, because in my life I love, as I already said, I love to mix and match fragrances. Moreover, I love to wear different fragrances within a day. For instance, I understand that you may think that I'm a bit crazy, but it's fine for me to wear up to 7 or 8 fragrances during the day. So I start the day with one fragrance, then I have specific one for doing sports, for business, for lunch.
For each situation,
yeah,
each occasion, a different
and I love this layering. So yeah, we have really different fragrances. We have fragrances very intimate, made for hedonists like our pros. We have a very show-off fragrances, to go out with a strong sillage. We have a very floral one. All of them are genderless, actually. So it's here we act as we do with arts. So art is not created for men or for women.
No, of course.
For everyone.
It's whatever. Yeah, we say always the same thing in Les Secrets du Marais, that it's not us the one that is going to say this is for men or for women. No, it's finally the user, the person that is going to use it, that decides for them. That's all.
Yeah.
So between all these fragrances, of course, I will not ask you which is your favorite, because it's impossible to say, but maybe you have a special feeling during the process of creation of the fragrance, that you could tell us something more.
Yeah, of course. So I think that I would highlight these 2 fragrances, Shaman and Jardin Humaniste, and our novelty Sabrage.
Yes, of course, Sabrage is the last one, so we will say at the end.
So why I would like to highlight them too? Because actually, these 2 fragrances, they illustrate in the best way the concept of layering and mix and match of Anomalia Paris. Because each of fragrances here is a ready-to-wear product, but when you mix and match them, they create an extremely beautiful 3rd or sometimes 4th fragrance. Here, this compilation was inspired by the novel of my most favorite writer, William Blake. The name of the novel is The Marriage of Heaven and Hell. And actually what we have here is a very floral, very beautiful, a little bit maybe for someone feminine fragrance, but still genderless, and a lot of men prefers this one. Jardin Humaniste. It's most beautiful white flowers that we found on our planet. Actually, it's a paradise garden, after the rain. It has lily of the valley, it has jasmine. So it's a beautiful, deep, floral fragrance. It's an angel, light and bright, and I would say, if we would use the color, white fragrance, white.
It's for sure that it's like as you say, it's light, it's brilliant, it's sparkling a little, but at the same time, it's very comfy.
Yes.
No, it's like it embraces you.
Yeah.
You feel comfortable with them.
Yeah. No? It's very beautiful, very, very gorgeous. It's luscious and still sits very close to your skin. So it's an extremely beautiful, it's like a paradise.
You can smell the little green notes as well. No? Like in a garden when you are going inside. Not these flowers that are so narcotic, but just at the back, at the bottom.
It's a very good compilation of different, the dosage of each ingredient is extremely beautiful here.
So easy to understand as well, easy to wear, because for me this is like I don't want to think about something.
Yeah.
I wear this fragrance, and
Absolutely.
you feel good. You feel good.
And it gives you positive vibrations.
Yeah.
Opposite to Jardin Humaniste, we have here Shaman. Very dark, very specific fragrance. I always say it's my alter ego. Actually, Shaman is not for everyone. It's for those who is really ready for dramatic changes in life, changes for the better. But it's a very specific fragrance. It's very smoky. It's a very, I would say, challenging fragrance. Very challenging one. For me, I love to wear it alone. It's not too much for me. I always say too much is not enough. But the magic of these two fragrances is that when you mix this dark side of the moon, these shamanic dances, with this paradise garden, you receive the real feeling of the marriage of heaven and hell. This is like a big bang, like explosion, like creation of the universe. Let me show you. How it
it's
works.
true that, well, we can see the color that is darker, and this one, of course, is
Just try it.
lighter. So when we put together,
Yeah, I put on the same bottle, and you see how Jardin Humaniste highlights this dark power, and Shaman gives his strong power to fragile Jardin Humaniste. So together they illustrate the ambivalence of our world.
see, and our personality as well, because always we have the little angel, the little devil.
Yeah,
So all the time is
Yeah.
this contrast that we have in life. When you apply together on the skin for the layering, you apply first Shaman and then
Depends. Normally yes.
Yeah.
Normally yes, because Shaman is more intensive. But actually,
So for
I
the
can-
bottom of
Actually, I can do whatever because I can reapply during the day or a bit later. Now I do first Shaman and then.
So you can start in the
But
morning more
doesn't
with
matter.
Jardin Humaniste,
And then-
maybe, and then in the afternoon
Yeah.
you can start again
Yeah.
with Shaman, and you apply a little Jardin
Exactly.
Humaniste to balance the mix and
Yeah.
that. So it's true that it's like a yin and yang as well.
Exactly.
No?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
to balance the
Yeah.
energy of each one. It depends on your mood and wherever. So it's a good idea to do the layering of these two. I love it. And we can finish with Sabrage, of course.
This is our beautiful novelty.
Sabrage. I love the name. It's like so French.
And that's what I love to do in my life, in my private life, not only private. I love
Atención,
to
viene un secreto.
yeah. I love to open the bottle like this using a sapper. Actually, it's an old French tradition to open a bottle of champagne. As you may see, here we present our new style cap. And the color of juice is rose, so it's inspired of a magnum of rose champagne. And actually, this is an epitome of celebration. This is all about festive life. This is all about cool music. Like a great champagne bubbles on the radiant summer sun. You are dancing with your friends. You're enjoying life. It's sparkling. It's like a fountain of energy and positive vibes. So it's extremely beautiful fragrance to celebrate your most beautiful moments and to dive into this, into this emotion. I think we should try it. It's fruity, it's ambery, it's floral. Actually, we don't highlight any specific ingredient here because, as I always say, you cannot split happiness.
No.
Either
For
you
us,
are
it's a combination of
it's
very
full
different
feeling.
things.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So that's why we don't highlight any specific ingredient here. But in general,
It's true that you feel good.
Mhm.
It smells.
Yes.
It's easy as well to wear and to understand that it's important for a fragrance, but at the same time you feel happy. You want to, like you said, celebrate life,
Yeah.
enjoy life, enjoy every detail in life, every little situation. It's soft, but at the same time it has a lot of personality.
Yeah, and a bit sharp sometimes, at the same time soft. So it's like a full picture of full and unconditional happiness. Yeah.
Yeah, like the explosion, like you say when you open the champagne bottle. It's just I love it. And well, we have talked about 2 or 3 fragrances now. I would like just to ask you 2 more things before we end the interview. First of all, you work with different perfumers. So how do you choose a perfumer when you want to create a fragrance?
Well, it depends. Really, for instance, if we talk about Sabrage, Anomalia Paris is a French, absolutely 100% French fragrance house. But I thought about Spain a bit when designing this. Why about Spain? Not only about Spain, also about Greece, about south of France, because of summer, because Ibiza, Saint-Tropez, all this, Mykonos, this
yes, like a triangle of
and of course when as you know, we use really high and the highest quality ingredients for our fragrances. The formulas are extremely, they're expensive, they are really high-end, etc. And when I thought of creating something very festive and very, burlesque and very vital, I of course thought of Christian Carbonell.
Okay.
So that's how first it all starts from the idea of the fragrance, and then you think, who could be the best perfumer to realize your ideas into life?
It's not the first time that you work with a Spanish perfumer, because for a bed you have worked as well and for the other ones, maybe you can tell us.
Here Ceremony was created by Nicolas Bonneville. He's a young perfumer, but really, talented, extremely talented one, and he was able to create the best version of rock and roller ever in perfumery, because the Ceremony is a fragrance dedicated to the 60s, to rock and roll music, to the time of freedom, music, love, Jim Morrison, The Doors, this time. And I was so much impressed by his talent when I first smelled this fragrance. Actually, we didn't do a lot back and forth.
Okay, yes.
I just tried and I was like, wow, this is exactly what I had in my brief.
See that you fit with him very well as well. Okay.
Yeah. So.
And what about the ingredients, for instance? Of course, each fragrance has different styles and different olfactive families and whatever. But do you have a special favorite ingredient or material that you want to work with?
This is what is different, maybe what differs Anomalia from other fragrance houses. I do not actually highlight some ingredients. With our fragrances, I am talking about the emotions. We don't build our stories around ingredients.
But for you, it's more the emotions that
it's more about
with
the story. It's more about the full picture. Because if I would talk only about ingredients, it's like to talk about the painting, about the colors. Which exactly color did you use to paint your picture? It's not about color. It's about the full.
It's not the blue of clay.
Exactly. Yeah. That's why. But of course, there are some that I love, but I would say that I can eat everything. It depends on my mood. For instance, all of them are very different. If you will take in your hand Aquatique Ozonique and Shaman, they of course they are connected with the invisible line, but from the first sight you wouldn't even say that these two fragrances were made, for instance, by the same fragrance house. They're very different.
Okay.
Here we have guaiac wood, here we have chamomile.
So wherever your style is, you can find your fragrance in Anomalia Paris.
Of course.
So that's a very good thing for our customers, because in this way, if you don't identify exactly with the narcotic poem, you can maybe identify with Sabrage or with Shaman or with a bed or whatever. Yeah. So that's a very good point of starting with the brand. So, well, thank you very much, Elena, for being with us. It was a pleasure to know a little more about the brand. We're going to celebrate this as well with our customers. Para vosotros, espero que os haya gustado la entrevista, que hayáis aprendido cosas nuevas sobre las fragancias y sobre todo sobre la marca, y esperamos veros muy pronto. ¡A bientôt!